What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. Today I wanted to go over game 2 and one player in specific, which is Jrue Holiday. He's been the topic of a lot of conversations about this series so far, as he misses this 3 right here to start off the game. But he's someone that has struggled a lot in the first 2 games, and the Bucks obviously got him for these games, for the playoffs, and he just hasn't showed up in this series. He finished the last series off against the Hawks. Those last 2 games played really well without Giannis, and it seems like with Giannis, he just isn't able to get his rhythm going. He isn't as aggressive at times. The last 2 games, he has been pretty aggressive, getting up his shots. And I'm sure that having to guard Chris Paul for the most part does take some energy out of you. Did a better job on him yesterday, holding him to 10 of 20, which is still 50% shooting, but compared to the game that Chris Paul had in game 1, it was a lot better. Chris Paul also had 6 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic, as you saw one there, in part due to, again, Jrue's defense. But, I wanted to go over some of Jrue's shots because, again, he didn't shoot well. I think him and Middleton combined for 12 of 37, I think. He gets the mid-range pull-up to go here. The good thing I do like about Middleton or Jrue Holiday's, the last couple of games is that at least he's being aggressive, right? And granted, Chris Middleton had a really good game 1, especially in the third and fourth quarter. Was really the only one really getting his own shots, getting them to go. He was pretty quiet last night. I think only 11 points. Just was nowhere to be found. And again, Jrue didn't shoot well, but he was still aggressive. And for the most part, I think he got the shots he wanted, shots that usually go in outside of the few where he settled. So I think, we'll go over the game and we'll go over his shots and kind of break down his offense. Here we are in a little bit of a delayed fast break. He has Jay Crowder on him, which isn't a huge mismatch, but he does have the quickness advantage over him. And he does exactly what Milwaukee did in that first quarter, is attack the paint. Nice spin move here with, finishes with the right hand. It does a really nice job of, making sure that he has his body in between the ball and Crowder, so Crowder has a tougher time trying to get over and blocking that shot. This is a difficult shot right here at first, and then he is able to extend with the right. Nice finish, nice move, continuing again to attack the paint. Now, something I did notice was that on a lot of the times where he did get shots he wanted or shots that are just good shots overall, he left a lot of them short, so maybe he's a bit tired. One thing to note is he's never been this far in the playoffs in his career before. You add that onto the fact that, the series against the Nets was a long one. The Atlanta series went 6, and he again had to kind of take over and be very aggressive in the last 2 games. The offseason was shorter for everyone, something we've all pointed out before. And the fact that he's having to guard Chris Paul, who moves a lot, uses a lot of screen rolls. So, a lot of battling there. And again, here, gets a good look. It's a nice move, gets to the rim. Very makeable shot for a guy of Jrue caliber's or Jrue Holiday's caliber, and it just leaves us short, right? So that's something to keep note of going forward as well. So I like this a lot, actually. So instead of going all the way out to the 3-point line, which a lot of offenses and players like to do when they catch the ball, catches it a little bit closer to the basket in the mid-range area. Devin Booker, while he's become a better defender and isn't a liability all the time, and he definitely tries, but Jrue Holiday a lot stronger than him. Uses this nice fake right here, and then just aggressive. Goes right at the body of Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. Gets it to go. So again, I like the aggressiveness, not selling for jump shots early, only taking it when it's there, and just really making a conceited effort to get to the paint and finish strong. So, does a nice job here of going downhill and then splitting the defense, but really good defense here by Mikal Bridges to cut off the initial drive. And you see multiple bodies there, right? You have Ayton helping off of Brook Lopez, and then Pat Connaughton really just out of place here because with the way he cut, now you also have Jay Crowder, which means now you have 3 Suns bodies trying to stop Jrue Holiday, right? Ideally, you want this pass to go out to the corner here, but again, with Ayton's length and athleticism, he's going to be able to contest that. So overall, just good defense by Phoenix. This is where Jrue's lack of explosiveness and lack of explosiveness kind of hurts him because he kind of gets stuck here, right? And instead of kind of resetting, Chris Middleton, you might be able to pass it out there with 12 seconds left on the shot clock. But this is a play where I think, again, it's a makeable shot, but not the best shot. It settles a little bit. So, those are the kind of shots I think you start seeing a bit more from Jrue Holiday. again, when he's not able to get to his initial spot or get to the spot he wants on his initial move, sometimes he ends up kind of settling because of the lack of explosiveness that he's shown, and just gets in a little bit of a trouble. And again, that lack of explosiveness, he's still an above average athlete, but it hurts, starts to hurt even more when you're going up against guys like Mikal Bridges, with the length and strength and athleticism that they have. So, it starts to bother him. And then I think the thing with Jrue Holiday, at least with this series, is he starts to get in his own head. Same thing as the other times, though. Really nice cut here, right? Devin Booker falls asleep a bit. Jrue Holiday realizes that, straight line drive cut to the basket. Chris Middleton with a nice pass. And this is a layup that Jrue Holiday is capable of making, and he just misses. Maybe again it's a little bit tiredness coming from the series, or coming from the playoffs as a whole, and having to guard Chris Paul this series. But we've already seen 2 or 3 layups that he's very capable of making, and that obviously helps with the field goal percentage overall. But also you have to ask yourself, if he makes some of these free throws, maybe he's able to knock down a few more jumpers later on because he's a bit more confident. Maybe he's a bit more aggressive and going to the basket, or continuing to go into the basket. So, you're nitpicking at that point, but these are questions that you still have to wonder, and why every single play, pass, turnover, shot, they can have a rippling effect on a game, and you never know, right? Because that can really change the flow of a game. So like this play right here, he's backing down Chris Paul. Chris Paul's a pretty strong defender, even in the post. Stronger than he looks, strong for his position, strong for his height. This isn't the worst shot or possession because you look at the guys on the floor, right? Brook Lopez gonna be a catch and shoot guy out in the 3. Same with PJ Tucker. Same with Pat Connaughton. Chris Middleton and Jrue are really the only guys who can get their own shots, and create something for others and for themselves. So I don't hate the fact that Jrue Holiday starts this possession with a back down. But again, this ends up being a contested shot, and I don't know if the Bucks' best offense is coming down and with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, Jrue Holiday taking a fadeaway mid-range contested shot. Maybe if Drew's, again, makes a few of the layups earlier and he's feeling it, that's fine. But at this point, he's not having a great game, not having a bad game, but I don't think this is a shot I particularly love. And I get without Giannis, you have to kind of get creative and do other things on offense. But I think they could have gotten a better shot at this point in the game. And when you're in the finals and against a team like Phoenix that can explode offensively at any point, you do want to make sure you're getting as close to the best shot as possible, as often as possible. Because again, you just have to be able to maximize your possessions, and that's where a lot of this, veteran leadership and coaching comes from. And I think you see it. Again, I've been critical of Budenholzer, but I think you see a lot more from Monty Williams' side, and just his ability to really reach the players and get them to maximize their focus, effort, and their skill. So again, another decent move by Jrue Holiday here. Is able to get past Chris Paul. I do want to credit DeAndre Ayton here because he comes over and just, again, these are the types of plays where it's not going to show up on the box score, but his teammates, the coaching staff, the fans, they'll know because this is an altered shot. And while it is an altered shot, I think this is still a shot that Jrue Holiday is capable of making. A left-hand sweeping layup. It's not easy by any means, but again, I wanted to point out that these shots that Drew's taking when he's not selling for the jump shots, very makeable shots. And on a different day in a different series, maybe that the horrendous shooting Drew's had so far could very well be a lot better, because again, these are shots that he's capable of making. So here's another shot here, right on the layup, just short, man, just short. And again, you still have to, I keep harping on it, but I think you just have to ask yourself, is he tired, out of shape, feeling it here in a really deep playoff run. So the one thing with Jrue is I think when he gets a little bit hesitant or complacent or even starts to lose trust in himself, I think it becomes visible with him. I like this sequence here because he just catches it and shoots it. And there's going to be, there's times in the last 2 games where he has the 3 and he's not a knockdown shooter. He's not Steph, Clay, some of these guys, but he's a very capable shooter. But there are times where he catches it, hesitates, and he wastes a couple seconds on the shot clock, and then it forces him or his teammates to have to take bad shots because he just is a bit indecisive and is not 100% confident at times. And I think that really hurts them as a team, not only just himself, because again, it's already a team that at times has been criticized for lacking offensive creativity. And Giannis needs as much shooting and help as he can get. And Jrue was one of the guys that, again, Milwaukee brought in to help him with that. And when he starts to doubt himself and when he starts to slow the offense down too much, it's already a team, again, that lacks spacing at times. And it just hurts them as a whole. So that is one thing that I also think that Jrue is, or another way that he's hurt this team at times. So Phoenix, double-digit lead. This shot is, I guess, makeable, but it is so off, and I have no idea what happened on this shot. It just clanks the side of the backboard. I mean, I guess it happens, but I think at this point there's, it's. I do think it's some of it's mental. Again, he looks tired, but it's hard. You take a shot like that, and you start having some doubts. I mean, I do think this is where he starts becoming more hesitant and less confident, less decisive. So this play right here, again, not an awful shot, but I think that three right there, he could have attacked off the closeout a little harder, right? Especially against Devin Booker. He's shown the ability to blow past him, so I think he could have attacked. Instead, he brings it out, runs the same old pick and roll they do with Giannis. I think that if this was, a bit more of a true point guard or Chris Paul, he could have used another dribble or two, or even extended this dribble out so that Jay Crowder has to make a decision between these two, right? Because even if Jrue, if Jrue is able to extend this play, and right, if Jay Crowder decides to play here, then Devin Booker's not going to get back in time, and then Giannis can go out. You have PJ Tucker going out. You space it out there, so you either get a let's see the options, right? You would get a dunk or a Giannis attempt at the rim, a PJ Tucker three, or if then Bridges rotates, then you would have a Chris Middleton three, right? And then the other option is if Jay Crowder ends up going here, and Jrue's able to use his body to box out and kind of keep Devin Booker and jail away here, Chris Paul's going to have to come, and then now you have a wide open shot for Pat Connaughton. He could even use a little bit of a hesitation or in and out and then attack the rim like he was doing in the first quarter. Again, he settles for a mid-range jump shot, which isn't the worst shot for him, but the way he's been shooting the ball, I don't love that shot. So yeah, I think we saw, just going to do the first three quarters. Those are all the shots, not all, but, some of the shots he took in the first three quarters. Again, he has some nice movements, some good cuts, some nice drives. I do think a lot of the shots were shots that he's very capable of making. And like I said, if he makes one or two of those layups, maybe he's a bit more confident, a bit more decisive, and who knows what his stats end up being, and who knows what the game ultimately ends up being. It really is a game of inches, and any play can really turn the tide of a game. That being said, I do think he looks tired, and his confidence looks shot at times. I think he misses one or two shots, and he just ends up, doubting himself. And when you're at the finals, at the biggest stage, some people are prone to doing that, but you really can't be doing that, especially when you're one of the guys from Milwaukee, right? It's one thing if, Bryn Forbes went through that, but he's one of the guys that Milwaukee brought in to help win a championship, help keep Giannis here. And he just hasn't shown up this series. Chris Middleton didn't show up last game, but at least he showed up in game one. Giannis didn't fully look like himself in game one, dominated game two, almost a historic performance, really played his heart out. But, Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, again, I think they combined for 12 of 37. They had 28 points combined, I believe, while Mikal Bridges himself at 27 and outplayed the both of them on both sides of the ball. So not a good look for Milwaukee. At the end of the day, Phoenix did what they're supposed to do, winning two at home. I do think that Milwaukee has a good shot to still tie the series up in the next two games. My prediction, though, is that Phoenix will win one in Milwaukee. I did have Phoenix winning in six, which is unfortunate because I do, I don't care who wins per se because I do like some of the guys on Phoenix. I'm a fan of Mikal Bridges. I like Cameron Johnson. I like Devin Booker. I like Chris Paul. Ideally, I would want Milwaukee to win because I do want Giannis to get that ring. But not a good series for Jrue Holiday so far, right? And again, I know there's been a lot of criticism on him. We'll see. The role players and some of these guys who play more off of confidence and motion, they play, or at least tend to play better at home. So hopefully Jrue Holiday steps up and has a revenge performance in game three because he's very capable of it, right? Sports, and especially basketball, can often be a what have you done for me lately sport. But, we saw Jrue Holiday play really well in those last two games in Atlanta, and we all know what he's capable of doing. So Bucks fans and just NBA fans in general, hopefully we see him coming back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. We'll be back next week, maybe this weekend, but probably next week with another video or two. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Follow us on our social media pages as well. Links will be in the description below. And until next time, peace.